lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no.
Fragile, unshielded.
I think I know who did it. I know who shot Leslie. You know it wasn't me. Why would I do it? I have no motive.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
She has this thing for me, ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is... sex?
Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her when I started spending time with Lely. She told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more. I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching? Yet again, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true.
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
She could have had access to the roof. You've noticed that door there, right? Maybe it leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting... Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful. Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Still? After all this, sir, please. It's a shitty world, and I know I'm shitty too. I know. But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting. That's some multinational
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
You have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I need.
You do have the form.
That's it. I'm calling it. Definitely, sire.
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Or maybe Ravishol.
There is desperation there, in that silence. A cornered animal looking for a way out.
Maybe Ravishol could be free. I could be tried in a free Ravishol. An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees over to the moral intern.
I find that hard to believe, miss.
Don't. The world can change. It has changed before.
That's not the answer she was hoping for. Thought that you were some kind of patriot or communard, did she? This was her last card. There is nothing more she can say. The final decision is yours. You alone stand on the throne of your mind.
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, drink and dance, wallowing in shit. Just like everyone else.
She looks at you in silence. Wait. If you arrest her, Kim will have to transport her. You'd be without your part. Shut up. He's making a decision, and it's his to make.
I won't, sir.
She nods, then nervously pulls on her cigarette.
She could have had. She could have come to.
Interesting theory.
Yes, of course. Okay.
There may be grounds here. At least.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath. As if you are. This is not the end of this.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
I did. There was an older woman.
That is anyone.
What time did you...
Thursday night.
It checks out.
She stands before you. She slowly lights. The same small, heavy door. It's barred from the in. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him. From the roof outside, location A prime, the glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. 72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition, a Belma-grave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. .2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. .1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin, beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Two neon-lit shapes, a
Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. I love those. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. What's that supposed to mean? Fuck you, buddy. She's not my taste. Good thing she pays for her stuff.
Wow, she really isn't his taste. Her spell.
Now, was there anything else? I have like 4,000 coast. Why? No. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
What? Did someone...
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3. Good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. Yes. What else? Yes. Got the 20 real. Then why are you...
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. You think he was hanged as a cover-up? To hide the shooting? Okay, well... I don't know. Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. I get it, okay. But what is the motive? That would be my first guess, yes. I don't know. Oh my god, there's...
Yes? What is it?
Yes?
It's you again. What is it? Why? Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to...
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly...
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back. Nothing is happening. The pieces are... Sorry, you're not coming up with anything. Again, the pieces are there. She could have done it. Some still nothing. Let's look at this. Smart move. The components are access to the roof, weapon, and motive. Here, for starters, you could find out what's behind that mystery door in the kitchen. If it can't get through the door, you know what would help. Doing a thorough search of this room. Maybe it's that simple.
Unless we have more business.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket, hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Huh?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think...
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that.
I'm gonna enjoy...
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched to its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit. Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare.
It's worth a try. You see, it could be connected to the barred door upstairs. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop. This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The lattice smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is the maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an enter. A small steel plaque reads, Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago.
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries.
It appears his whole enthusiasm is sarcastic.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could...
This is good. He likes it.
It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, leading to the roof. The roof from where you can shoot. These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is.
Between that and that. The size looks about the same, actually. They are not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. I wouldn't rule out Ruby coming here yet. This isn't an argument against her. People change shoes, you know? But it's not an argument for her either. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print? Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor. So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue. Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the artists bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice maker said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and God ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells. You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere. You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusion. This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Class here about this route.
Folded M dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series In System. Look who's in a good mood suddenly and reads science fiction. Yes, it is quite likely that we will re-emerge on the M plane. Brace for psychokinetic impact. Or the roof. All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back, feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in...
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
No.
Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi. Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
So now he remembers. Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations. Wonderful. He only remembers hearing about the pinball policeman. No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science-fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame. I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy. Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop. It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story. That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents. Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. He looks up at you, then shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. Yeah? Oh. Do you think Ruby could have gotten in that way? To the roof?
It's possible. She keeps looking at the door with a worried expression. The wind ruffles her hair.
A peephole? You mean like a hole in...
Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
Okay.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her.
Do you think this is somehow related to Ruby passing through there? Okay. Do you have any...
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cover with some tape.
It's very hard to believe that she'd do something like that, but... No, I don't know. I just don't know about this office. She could have. Maybe she did. Or maybe it's been there for a long time. The local kids use it or something. Was there anything else back there? Huh. This isn't good.
She's straight as a stick, suddenly.
Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun.
She's lost in thought. Eyes narrowed. Forehead furrowed.
I'm wintering.
How long?
About 4 months. I came in November. Funky town. All right. Okay. Because I'm a...
Which idiot? She's nothing of the sort.
You have to under...
Her jaw is
He kept throwing...
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. Oh God. She did, of course. She nods, silently. Then picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. There's some tear, an empty cigarette packet, 2 empty bottles. No, there's more in there.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with...
Good evening. Sure, what's on your mind? But of course, what else?
This is the trap Morel just set. The reeds hiss and shake. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. This trap is also full of panicked locusts.
Another empty trap. Yep. The next one has a crab.
The metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds.
That over there. Must be the boy Klaas you told us about. The one she hid her passport in.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal...
Simple construction. Very...
There's something in there, splashing around. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner. Actually, smells a little salty. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope. In my experience, cryptids are generally uninterested in travel documentation.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time.
I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. That may very well be the case. We should...
You could ask the mist.
I have no idea. Or think could be. We should keep an eye out.
You could ask the mist. The dome-shaped plastic... A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters from them. A cold sea.
Yes?
see, a slogan used to intertwine.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
No, I won't even try. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I pass my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
His hands lead the way when it comes to that. And his shoulders. It's reflex. You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling. Still calling. Again. Someone with a masculine.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity.
No, but I got a feeling Al Kick Your Ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever...
Phone. Disconnect tone. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. This trap's not the reeds sway in the coastal breeze. The wind picks up here, near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there, in the whirling in rags. It's not possible to climb that ladder, and even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from. To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fire. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out Biddable Prime, was it? Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joan? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast. There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. It's glowing in the dark night. The lights are on. Glazia must be in there. Looks like she kept her promise. Such a good girl, you think. The mother of humanism stands above you.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? What would you like to know? Good. What we do.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shippings, and that is the terminal.
The Wild Pines group is one of the original. She nods.
Of course. Anything to help. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. They were dispatched after I relayed the Union's initial offer.
Everyone.
A member of the board. Absolutely.
Who are they?
Crenell. They wear ceramic armor.
So.
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local. He was taken out behind. Nothing. Mr. Clare it's a smokescreen.
What is the nature of.
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single, concrete... If you don't pin this on some...
They would have to.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be a task.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade?
The Serais...
These men...
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after...
As I said, a bloodbath. Many. All we can do is keep the rest from going. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, of course, anything to help. Or he didn't. This is information part. The remaining contract that the man...
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge.
Last Sunday night. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I am sorry to have been...
Give me a moment. It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Maisons in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of those doors on the balcony.
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of even today, half a century after. The star and to symbolize the toppling. Also, some social democrat because white is the color of peace. You see noble aims, but also mountains upon mountains of corpses. They should have taken the price of idealism, unrestrained by hue. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged. Honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken it. Hold on a second. Is this why you broke in here? To find out whether you're Krasmazov? Sure you are. Well, you both do seem to share an affinity for sideburns, but it seems like old Kras here didn't drink nearly as much as you. Ah, very well. Let's look for identifying. Doesn't he have a birthmark right here? What about you? All right, but here's the big thing. Krasmazov looks Samaran, and you don't. Yes, he does. Look at his eyes. Wasn't his mother a Samaran immigrant? Okay, you win. Be Krasmazov. Why are you so hell-bent on proving that you're Krasmazov anyway? All right, Kras, if you say so. He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. There aren't many...
A weathered brown door. The number... Something smells good. Soup alongio. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead. This is the door. You already know it's the right door.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need... Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dad, just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen, as soon as possible.
The lieutenant motions to... And someone turns down the radio. He gives you a short, encouraging nod. Tidying up, nervously. There's fear in her voice.
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink?
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them. Condensation. From stepping inside. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if...
Keep it together. You don't want your body language.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds...
How about some small talk before you break the news?
How have I been? You're not here to discuss me. What is this about, officer? It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie. Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18 next month. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is... out.
She swallows visibly.
He has a problem with drinking, and so he disappears every now and then. He's probably in the parks drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up. No, I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back. It shouldn't be long from now. Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayrow Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayrow.
It is.
Just to return a book of mine? Why? Why all those questions?
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
Yes.
She folds her hands across her chest. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
What did you say? Oh. Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And you just found... How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief. A small, terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls. God, should I call them? Should I tell them?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier. Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
We should step outside and talk. You did well. You did enough. Can't save the whole world. You
can't bring the dead back.
I'll call the station tomorrow and let them know the name of the deceased. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Let's go. Yes?
door has break the royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will last a lifetime and then some. Someone is moving around in the apartment. You hear the tenant must be cleaning up. That means you're too late. Nothing more to do here. Better report back to Everard. As you turn to leave, you hear footsteps.
We should leave and go talk with Everard. Tell him what happened.
The door had the royal lion. No answer.
That already defeats the point, doesn't it? Let's get out of here.
The key stops midway in the lock. The tenant's key is in the lock. The lieutenant looks first at the door, then back at you, then signals you to back off from.
That already defeats the point, doesn't it?
Not a sound. Even the darkness is holding its breath inside. As you turn to leave, you hear footsteps.
We should leave and
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Because this is no ordinary wall. It is sublime. Look at it. The shadows. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. O Wall Father! Huh? He sounds tired of it all. You already have the heavy fuel oil to use as paint. It's red. And Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush. This is on.
Sure. If you must.
Whoa! What have we here? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Sure. They never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about.
This coin-operated view, why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
There was a revitalization project. They got as far as the street lamps and that statue in the intersection before something went sour. I suspect it was Everard Claire's doing. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. We should have done something about the Union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. Different blues and the lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Can you tell? From this distance?
It's not. The details are blurry. There's water vapor in the way and waves.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. A thick "That's Kuno" on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of... You know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the window. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes, I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details.
The lieutenant leans in to listen.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Elis Kortenaer. That's Ellis Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
A name. This is very good. Elis Kortenaer.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity, about giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? It will take...
Her voice is fake.
Gottlieb, what you get yourself into this time? I didn't, but now I do. How's the drinking going? Ah, great to hear it. Stop by sometime when you're done with your case. I'll draw some blood, run it through, let you know how much forever your liver's going to give you. Mm-hmm.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a second. Sylvie Mal... Yes, hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? No, not me. No, sorry. People don't...
So the Union has a phone, and there's...
Seems like Glacio wasn't lying when she said it was her. This corroborates her story. She made the call.
I wouldn't be so sure, detective.
Yeah, go on.
You hear the call break.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Right.
10-4, come in. Fireworker, over. 10-4.
Feels good to get that off your chest, right?
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
A metallic drawer. The pull-out toolbox slides back.
Now it's turning into a kind of a... Oh.
Time to relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making...
The man taps his fingers.
It's you again. What is it?
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
So that's what you were squinting at. You were trying to come up with a theory, weren't you? That she did it.
Yeah, he was cobbling together shit so he could put her away. It's RCM 101.
Well, let old Titus set your mind at ease then. She didn't do it. She was here all night.
Sunday night, 11:30 to 12:15. She was here all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No. All right, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
This complex operation is probably something illegal.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up. 72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab? No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science.
Those numbers were an ass pull, man.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jumbo. He hasn't got shit.
Oh. People say there was a pinball arcade here.
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for us to...
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down, all under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that. And Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
That looks antique. A Bell McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
All right, Carl. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
Pete, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
Yeah. Like what? A thing? You mean?
Yeah, but they're both girls.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
Fuck you. First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a fag too? It's a lie.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday.
She didn't fuck you, 'cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
This is some sordid shit. Figures. But that Ruby is queer as cabaret, now that I start thinking about it. So there is some truth to it. And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a Hardy. But if you bring your own personal shit into our outfit...
If that's the case, then it's not right. But it's not the case, right?
There are many pieces that fit together that way, Eugene. Face it.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Not so useful.
Fucking hell.
And I suppose you have a theory about that too, cop.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.